Guys, you're familiar with it because you conducted it. We'll take a look. You see the results. Jeb Bush at the top, also doing well. Scott Walker, Rand Paul, etc. So we're going to run through, not in New Hampshire, but nationally, some of these candidates and ask you in each case, what are they doing right now to help their chances of getting elected? What are they doing wrong? Start, Alex, with you and Jeb Bush. What's he doing right? What's he doing wrong?
What's Jeb Bush doing right? He is running as the ideas candidate, representing a new Republican Party. What's he doing wrong? Running as the ideas candidate. It can be very unstable. The guy who always gets shot is the point man on the squad, the guy who's a little too far ahead.
Well, what he's doing well is what his brother did so well. He's coming to the race with all the money, and he's going to have a pretty big impact because he has all the money and the institutional support that goes with it. What's he not doing well? I don't think he's doing a particularly good job picking his staff, but I think that'll improve as he goes.
Steve, let's stick with you and ask about the candidate of the moment, at least until today in London, where he got a little shaky. Scott Walker, the governor of Wisconsin. What's he doing right and what's he doing wrong?
What he's doing right is he's the new face, he's the fresh face, and he's a face that people on the right seem to really like. What he's doing wrong, I actually don't think he's doing anything wrong yet. I think probably he missed a moment in London today. He could have been a little stronger, as Mark pointed out.
When you say what he's doing right is being the fresh face, he is that without doing anything. He just is. But is anything he's doing to reinforce that?
Well, I think everything he's doing reinforces it. I mean, he's the guy. He's not Washington. He's not the establishment. He doesn't have a famous last name. And he goes out to Steve King's event, and he does a really good job. And if people are talking about him, there's a buzz.
Scott Walker passes the big chair test. He could be a president. He has stopped restraining his enthusiasm.
But what's he doing?
He's getting a little more exciting.
What's he doing right? What's he doing wrong?
He's getting a little more exciting. He is Scott Walker unleashed.
And what's he doing wrong?
Almost as exciting as Tim Pawlenty unleashed.
Right now, very little. He's drafting. In NASCAR racing, he's the car on Jeb Bush's shoulder.
All right, Rand, go ahead.
One thing he might be doing wrong, though, I mean, if you think about it in the context of a general election, if he's a nominee, is pandering as much as he is to the Steve King base of the party. But we'll see.
Yeah. Rand Paul?
Rand Paul is building a coalition of young people, neo-isolationists, and libertarians. The strongest coalition in the party right now, getting young people excited. What's he doing wrong? He's a cause and not a serious candidate for president.
I agree with Alex on what he's doing right. What he's doing wrong is practicing medicine in a way that's completely irresponsible by saying vaccines are a matter of choice and
that's not what he said.
But when you said he's not being a serious candidate for president, you mean what? What is he doing that indicates
you still have a
serious?
sense that he's the leader of a cause, that he is more about advancing the cause of freedom, a noble cause in the country, than actually letting you see how he would conduct himself.
What's
in
the
a big
remedy
chair.
for that? A big foreign policy speech, or
time, maturity, taking a stand in a debate.
So what he's doing wrong is he's not in a time machine.
All right.
That's why we have campaigns.
He's not his father's Oldsmobile, right?
Chris Christie, right and wrong.
Well, what he's doing right is he seems to have stopped screaming at people and calling people stupid. He appears to have stopped violating the laws by seeking political retribution on his opponents.
Characterization.
What's he doing right? I mean, I think he's
wrong. What's he doing wrong?
What's he doing wrong? You know, he actually, I think, is doing fine right now. He's climbing out of a little bit of a hole because of Bridgegate and all the other things that have sort of followed him around. Right. And I think he's doing okay.
What's he doing right? He's trying to stop being the bulldog on your front lawn. You want him there to bite the bad people. You're afraid to let him in the house. He might bite you. What's he doing right? He doesn't have another pitch. He's not doing anything right. That's the only thing he's got is the tough guy.
All right, let's try to get a couple more real quick. Ben Carson, right and wrong.
Ben Carson is actually a much more serious candidate people think. No, he won't pass the big chair test, but he is closer to the soul of the Republican Party.
What's he doing right? What's
he is
wrong?
Sticking with his message. The
What's
soul of the Republican Party.
He wants me to take it more seriously. What's he doing wrong?
Not growing beyond that.
Okay.
I think Alex is right.
Big chair test.
What he's doing well is he is appealing to the extreme elements of the party, and he's appealing quite strongly, and I think very effectively. And that ultimately will be
in right and wrong.
What will undo him as well as what's made him.
Let's try to get at least two more here. Marco Rubio, right and wrong.
I think Marco Rubio is being the thoughtful candidate. And I thought he was actually in a pretty good spot when he came out in immigration reform. He backed off, which is something he's done wrong. It's better to be principled and take a stand and hold it than it is to flip-flop around. Mitt Romney found that out, and I think.
All right, I want to get quickly because we're out of time. We're not getting all the Republicans. You say what Hillary Clinton's doing right. You say what she's doing wrong. Hillary Clinton right? Man,
I think she's in big trouble.
All right.
I think
What's
she's,
Hillary Clinton doing wrong?
I don't think
Can I
she wins.
talk about
I don't
how
think
she's
she's
doing
gonna
right?
win
Can I start with
Talk
New
about
Hampshire?
Quickly,
ungenerous.
what's she doing right? Quickly. We're running out of time. I'm like John McLaughlin.
Hillary Clinton.
What's she doing right?
Hillary Clinton's doing right.
She's
She is-
waiting.
She's
waiting.
eliminating any other
All right, and what's
campaign
she
that
doing
her
wrong?
campaign
She's
could
frozen the
collapse.
field
What's she
and
doing
she's
wrong?
waiting.
Either
Her
of you wanna say
campaign
not
is going to collapse, but she's making sure
We're
there's
gonna do
no
a
one
whole
for it to
episode.
collapse.
She's not
We're gonna
doing
do a whole
anything
episode
wrong.
on what
She's
you guys
doing
think she's doing
nothing
wrong.
wrong.
All right.